Hi, my name is Cameron Gilbert,
And my name is Cyrus Ostami. Good to see you again.
and we're here to explain our report regarding Symetra Life Insurance.
Let's start with the basics of what Symetra actually is. Symetra is an insurance company based out of Bellevue, Washington, with their main mission being to provide insurance in an easy, non-complex way to customers. They have around 20 branches across the U.S. and specialize in annuities, life insurance, and retirement planning.
Now for a little bit about Bellevue. Bellevue is a very diverse city with an ever-growing population, for a good reason too. Because of the rapid growth, it has an influx of affluent people, creating a perfect environment for an insurance company. Also, the average age for people in Bellevue is 25 to 34, which is good for Symetra because that's when people start considering life and retirement insurance.
Just as Margaret Meister, the acting CEO of Symetra once said, "At Symetra, giving back to the community is a deeply shared commitment that is at the center of who we are as a business and as engaged citizens."
Currently, Symetra has two main CSR programs. The first one being the Symetra Heroes in the Classroom, where Symetra recognizes local teachers nominated by other people and gives them a check for their outstanding work, which will be used to purchase classroom items.
The next program is the Symetra Week of Service program, where Symetra workers take a whole week during the summer to volunteer at local organizations. This occurs across all 20 Symetra branches.
We use 5 different questionnaires in an attempt to study and understand Symetra's current CSR programs.
To conduct a survey among managers at Symetra, we used a 14-question survey via Google Forms to find their views on Symetra's CSR programs. We used a similar Google Form survey for both the employees and customers as well, both with 10 questions. All three surveys are presented in similar ways, but the questions are all different.
For the focus group, a manager, employee, and customer were all questioning the exact same things to figure out their opinions on Symetra's CSR. Then for secondary research, we analyzed Symetra's Facebook page and looked over reviews regarding Symetra.
For the manager survey, it was found that 75% of Symetra's managers felt that the Symetra Week of Service event was their best CSR program. 100% of Symetra managers liked participating in CSR events with their employees, and 33% of Symetra managers felt that the Symetra Heroes of the Classroom program was their worst CSR program.
For employees, 62% of employees thought that Symetra helps their community fairly well. 50% of employees felt that Symetra's CSR programs are okay at attracting new customers, and 50% of employees felt that Symetra's CSR programs benefit them.
Then, as we surveyed customers, it was found that 40% of the customers had been to at least one of Symetra's CSR events, 40% of the customers are happy with the CSR program Symetra offers, and 60% of the customers said that CSR events don't influence them to stay with the company.
After asking a customer, an employee, and a manager about Symetra's CSR programs, a common theme was shown that Symetra does a great job in encouraging their employees to help the local community. It was also discovered that employees need more information regarding how they can help during these events.
Finally, for secondary research, the Symetra Facebook page was found and looked into, showing that Symetra likes to promote the major new occurrences within the company, as well as their volunteering efforts.
One thing that stood out on the Facebook page was how much Symetra was involved with sports and popular players, more specifically football and baseball. Symetra has a deal with Sports Illustrated, and therefore they have access to many sporting events and programs.
We also found that Symetra averaged a 4 out of 5 stars based on Google's rating platform. There were a small amount of negative comments, as most all comments praised the company and their efforts.
Based off our research, we have noticed that both current managers and employees have been at Symetra for a long time and enjoy participating during the CSR events.
Something else we discovered is the Week of Service event is a standout favorite among workers at Symetra as they get to help their community as a unified group.
Now to the problem. The problem that was found within Symetra's CSR programs through our questioning and research is all about involvement.
Exactly. The whole issue about Symetra's current CSR programs and events is that there is very minimal customer involvement, and this mainly streams from the fact that there's no exposure over media and advertisements. Symetra needs to do a better job in promoting their programs because as of now, they are not widely recognized.
To remedy this, Operation Swift, Specialize, Work, Involve, Future, and Transparency was created with 3 goals in mind. The first goal was to increase the volume of advertisements by 20% in 3 years.
The second goal was to grow the company by gaining 20% more customers within 5 years.
And the final goal was to maintain at least 80% of their customers to stay with Symetra for longer than 7 years.
To achieve these goals, Operation Swift aimed at specializing, working, involving, planning for the future, and becoming more transparent.
Specializing includes creating marketing strategies specific to the advertised program.
Working consists of spending quality time helping the community through volunteer work.
Involving is pretty self-explanatory. It means involving customers during the CSR events.
Planning for the future means to plan for maintaining an influx of future customers, and becoming more transparent just means to make programs and initiatives easy to follow for anyone interested with Symetra.
Operation Swift will be completely based around the Symetra's Week of Service, a popular CSR event that Symetra holds where each branch takes a week during the summer to volunteer at a local charity.
Because the Week of Service is a highly regarded event by managers and employees, we felt that it was only right to make it more recognized by others and give people outside the company, like customers, options to help as well.
So far, there is very little participation from our outside customers regarding Symetra CSR programs. It is mainly managers and employees helping. We really want to stress through Operation Swift how important customer involvement is for the development and growth of Symetra CSR programs. If Symetra can properly incorporate their customers into their events, we feel that programs, especially the Week of Service, will become more widely recognized and bring in more customers.
Branches all over the United States will be participating in Operation Swift, ranging from the West Coast all the way to the East.
There are around 20 Symetra U.S. branches, and each one will be participating in this event.
Each branch participates in the Symetra Week of Service during the summer. Therefore, each branch will participate in Operation Swift and include their local customers during the process. Although we are trying to focus on customer involvement, managers and employees from each branch will be participating as they normally would.
Operation Swift will commence August 2nd, starting with advertisements that will be sent out via email and displayed through media platforms like Facebook. We will hire a team to create these short advertisements to promote customer involvement. After a week of heavy advertising and promoting the Week of Service, each Symetra branch will email customers so they can submit local charities and causes that need helpers.
Then, after each branch receives charities submitted by their customers, a selection of 5 charities will be randomly chosen by each branch. Subsequently, the selected charities and customers will be emailed so they know the dates when participants will come to help, which is August 22nd to the 26th, with each day being dedicated to one of the 5 charities.
After a week of volunteering for the charities, it is time to turn in the hour log sheets. Each participant will have printed an hour log sheet that was included in the same email regarding the volunteering times, and throughout the week, tracked how many hours they participated. These logs will be turned in on the last day of volunteering, August 26th, in a turn-in box at the last charity location.
The number of hours that each branch volunteered will then be counted and totaled up. The branch with the most volunteer hours from managers, employees, and customers from that week will win.
The winning branch will present a $5,000 check to each of their 5 selected charities in a fun and energetic way through a big check presentation. This will happen on the last day of Operation Swift, August 28th.
Alright, so here's what the hour log sheet would look like. There are 5 rows, one for each day spent at one of the 5 charities. Each participant logs the number of hours they volunteer in the far right column, and this is where the total amount of hours for each branch will be counted. The expected cost of Operation Swift over 5 years would total up to be around $358,250. $18,250 for the release of the advertisements, $100,000 for the donation fund, and another $240,000 to pay the employees to count the hour log sheets. Consequently, the return on investments for Operation Swift would be around $100,000, mainly from the increased revenue from more customers.
Although we lose money during the first 5 years, this plan will bring in much more revenue in the future. Our goal is to gain customers over 5 years and have them stay with us for at least 7 years, meaning that the profit will come later during this process. The operation is built to make Symetra CSR programs more widely recognized, which will in turn spur more interest surrounding the company.
Thank you for listening to our presentation about Symetra. Any questions?